For the first time ever, Canada beat New Zealand. They won the Pacific Four.
Get ready for your ultimate rugby fix every week as Elvyo and Vinnie bring you the heart and soul of community rugby right here in Calgary.
They bring in Hassler, hitting and spinning. Hassler! Oh boy, what a try! Oh, Canada!
From thrilling score updates and the scoop on upcoming fixtures to the latest news from the Canadian rugby scene and beyond. But that's not all. Each episode, we'll introduce you to a special guest who's making waves in the rugby world. Whether they're local legends, international stars, or rising talents, our guests will share their stories, insights, and passion for the game.
Here we go, episode 32, Rugby ABC podcast. Jesus, can you believe it, Jay? It's 32 episodes and we're still running, mate. People haven't they haven't hunted us down yet and kicked us out.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's all right. I've been bumping into a few people and they've kicked our ass. They've said, "Hey, when's the next episode coming out?" So we've both been on a little bit of a hiatus because of other duties that are very important to our lives. But we're back. We're bigger than ever. We've got a massive show coming up. But mate, why don't we rip in to the big ticket item right now that's just been released publicly?
Yeah, super exciting, mate. You know, Rugby Canada, super proud moment right now. They've got the women in the quarterfinals of the Women's Rugby World Cup, and also the men have qualified for the 2027 Men's Rugby World Cup in Australia.
Yes. How many Miss World Cups was it? So did they miss two? Or just one? Okay.
Just one, yeah. Yeah, they were at the 2019 one. They missed the 2023 one, and now they're back in the 2027 one. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, yes, you know, World Rugby did increase the number of teams that are going to 24. So, you know, created a bit of opportunity for some of the tier 2 nations.
Yeah.
Which are obviously right now, Canada is one of the, you know, obviously they're one of the benefactors in this case. But, you know, going forward, being at a World Cup, funding men's rugby, you know, we had a incredible event in Calgary. Where it was like
a Bobby Dazzer of an evening for everyone who was there.
Almost 12,000 people came out to watch in Calgary, McMahon Stadium.
Great crowd.
You know, we talk about certain facilities that we don't have in Calgary, well, with the returf and, you know, just the way it was presented by Rugby Canada.
There, right?
Yeah, returfed, mate. Yeah, not anything else. But yeah, I mean, just an incredible opportunity there, and hopefully, you know, I think you had some interesting information that Mr. Olmsted had shared with you that I wasn't quite aware of. So, what was it? What was that information?
Well, yeah, of course. Sorry, you've caught me off guard there, mate. But the men's team, they absolutely love playing in Calgary because he brought it to my attention that they have played 3 test matches in Calgary over the last 8 years, and they're undefeated. So, absolutely marvellous. And thanks for bringing that up because Evan obviously is a Canadian representative. Anyone that doesn't know Evan Olmsted, he's the big bear with all the hair playing number 5 in the row in the engine room, and he's actually an Aussie. And believe it or not, he's from my junior rugby club, the mighty Linfield East Rugby Club back in Sydney, Australia. So it was great to see Evan. And I got a before and after shot because we were at the game when they played Georgia at the CRU back in, was it 2016, I think, mate?
Yeah, I want to say it was something like that. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah. No, sorry, Russia. Georgia was the Armageddon weather day. Russia was the test match that they played at the CRU that they won comfortably. Got a before and after with my young fella with Evan Olmsted. So, unfortunately, Evan and Tyler Ardron have gone back to their clubs back in France. So they'll be dearly missed with the remainder of the Pacific Nations Cup. But mate, what a night in Calgary. Beautiful weather, a packed hill, we could call it, because it wasn't a packed stadium, but we packed half the place out, and the support was absolutely immense, and the result was even better, mate.
Oh, definitely. Someone asked me in the build-up to that game what the score differential was going to be, and when I said Canada by 10, it was almost like, there was a ghost that just went through their body. They were a bit in shock, and you know what? For Canada to come out victors alone was awesome, but to have have a 10-point plus deficit was incredible.
Yeah.
But enough about the men. The women are right in the mix of it right now. And
yes.
I watched the game at the weekend. My mighty Scotland played Canada, and one of our local legends, a fan favourite, Emily Chitosi, got the player of the match.
Yeah, and plenty of meat too.
And she got a couple of meat pies. She got two of them.
Yeah.
And nothing from the back of a mull. Both were quite a bit of footwork, wee bit of drive, and pop over to score the try. So super happy for them.
I reckon a couple of weeks after the World Cup finishes, the story will be that she intercepted from 90 out and beat the wingers to score under the post. But
I don't know why you'd wait so many weeks. I mean, I'd already be using that right now. I mean, it's fresh in people's minds,
Yeah.
So I mean, mighty World Cup. The women are doing really well.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few local legends that have graced us with their presence on the podcast. Just being absolutely incredible.
And it's damn good footy, Vinny.
It's good.
For anyone who hasn't watched any of the games, do yourself a favour. They're live on TSN. You don't have to have some fancy app or stick on a VPN. They're showing the games live on TSN, and it's prime time viewing because it's in England, so it's early to mid morning or early morning to lunchtime. So it's perfect viewing times, and the skills of these women is just out of this world. The game has changed from what it may have been many, many years ago, but this is a world-class showcase of women's sport, women's rugby, the crowds are full, the stadiums are full, the crowds are incredible. So if you haven't had a chance to get around a TV, make time for it because it's an incredible spectacle.
Oh man, absolutely outstanding. We're going to get to some of those results and a few of the talking points there, but the Women's World Cup, to add on to what you're saying, there's got to be, in the first pool stages alone, there's got to be 4 tries that could be up for try of the year.
Yeah.
There's just some incredible efforts, full length, multiple offloads, running lines, boshes, everything you want to see in rugby. And, it's just incredible to see local talent, Alberta, Saskatchewan, proud, rugby players that are representing on the highest stage. So
and
super lucky.
Great to see Canadian rugby in the headlines again. So
100%,
awesome. Mate, let's rip into some local stuff. It's down to the pointy end of the season for Alberta rugby. We had some Calgary City finals commencing over the weekend. So why don't we go over that and then we'll get back into the Alberta Cup stuff and we'll talk about some international stuff that gave this guy a spring in his step too.
I'm saying nothing. Oh man! So we'll start off with the third division men's. Obviously, for talking sake, all women's rugby is finished. Canada Rugby League, they were over in Fiji there for a little bit. So some of the women from the women's prem are in that and having a great time by the looks of things, but don't have too many other details. But hats off to the organisers for the Canada Rugby League and taking some incredible women across to Fiji.
Should we just remind everyone that the Calgary Rams are the Alberta Women's Premiers for 2025. They had a big win here in Calgary as all of the Alberta Cup provincial games are played here in Calgary this year. So congratulations to the Rams. A couple of local legends that played for the Rams that day. So they had a win against, I think it was the Lep Tigers, mate, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But lots of rugby. Again, congratulations to the Rams.
Yeah.
Let's dive into a little bit of the men's rugby that's going on just now. So we'll start with the third division with the Calgary Knights, who entertained the Bow Valley Lions, so the Babas. And the Calgary Knights were victorious 53-5. The Canucks played the Irish, and the Canucks were victorious 60-12.
Yep.
And the Saints had like a bowl final, and they played against the Hornets, and the Saints won 46-32.
Yeah.
So what that means is the Knights now play the Canucks in the third division city final coming up this weekend.
There we go.
Now, if we jump to the second division, we had 2 games in the second division. Beauty little spot up there. And so overall, the Canucks were victorious over the Foothills Lions 37-5, and Banff were victorious over Lethbridge. So meaning we have a city final coming to Calgary, and it is going to be Banff versus the Canucks in second division.
That's going to be a humdinger, mate.
It's going to be a good one for sure. And then the Alberta Cup had the last round of league play, so there was some of the results that happened definitely swayed some movement up in Edmonton, but Calgary was pretty much locked down. So the Klansmen played the Canucks in Edmonton, and the Klansmen won 31-29. So a 2-point victory there. That got, to my knowledge, the Klansmen into the playoffs. So they will play the Nor'Westers next weekend as the Edmonton City final.
Yep.
And then the Nor'Westers played the Druids, and they won 103-0. I think the Druids might have sent the U13s at that point, but
I think the Druids might have been golfing, mate, to be fair.
Yeah, just a tough year all round for the Druids, I think, mate. Some big results there, but hopefully, in a rebuild, we all know what that looks like, and hats off to them for, sticking through it.
Yeah.
And then St Albert played the Saracens, and they had a very strong finish, 74 points to 7.
Yeah.
And talking to some of the local boys at the Saracens, I think it was one of those days that we were talking about earlier, Jace.
Yeah.
Just nothing seemed to work. The guy that normally is solid had a bad game. The connection points just weren't there, and a tough season for the Saracens, but well played to them for sticking it out.
One of those games when the coach hits the bar before the whistle's blown, eh?
Yeah, potentially, mate. It sounded like it was one of those days just at the office where nothing you wanted to work seemed to work. So that being said, it's the Canucks versus the Hornets for the Calgary City final this coming weekend.
Sounds a bit like Groundhog Day, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So, I mean, across the board, you have you've got 3 Canucks teams playing in 3 city finals again. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Yeah,
great job.
So we'll jump into that's local footy.
That's right.
We'll dive into a little bit of the international stuff, and super excited here. We'll start with We'll finish with the Women's World Cup because that's really the exciting stuff. But the Rugby Championship right now is on fire.
It is immense, mate. It is. It's the most competitive TRC or Rugby Championship in many, many years, and I suppose that's because my Wallabies have finally stepped up to the plate and started manning up. So, very exciting stuff here at the moment, mate. And, those early mornings getting up and watching the Lions games, and then now we've got the late nights, 10:30 p.m. kickoff, Mountain Standard Time. But when your team's getting the W, mate, it's well worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I made the mistake of watching both those games live. and then having to get up at 7 a.m. with a young lad on Saturday morning. So I was a little
Rookie
tired,
mistake.
rookie, but well worth it. Two absolutely humdingers. Australia, Argentina, right down to the last play.
Yeah.
Australia going for it. Penalty, decision to kick for the corner. Penalty, decide to tap. Penalty, decide to tap again, and score the winning try in the 83rd minute. Like
86th, mate. 86th
86th
minute.
minute, like incredible. And
Yeah.
Argentina fought the entirety of that game. So Australia walked away with that one 28-24.
Yeah.
And then the next big one, Eden Park, 51 games they've won at Eden Park against
Yeah.
South Africa. And, the score again, 24-17, right down to the wire. RD Sevilla on his 100th test, just stepping up to the plate, like turnovers in the final minutes to secure a win. Like, unbelievable. And what a humble man. His
Yeah.
100th test, and his first words were to thank his opposition and thank his family. Like,
Yeah.
you just don't create that. That's an incredible human being right there. So
Yeah.
hats off to young Ardy on his 100th test, which is incredible.
Absolutely. And if anyone's been watching some of the social media as well, it was awesome seeing Jesse Creel from South Africa present Artie with a special token of appreciation from the South African rugby community. So once again, mate, watching those videos and seeing the respect that's paid from the opposition in rugby makes you very proud to be part of this wonderful sport, mate.
100%.
So lovely touch from the South African Rugby Union.
To get to 100 tests for your country is incredible, but
Yeah.
it's also an honour. Jesse Creel captained the South Africans there, even though Sia Khaleesi's playing.
Yeah.
He's done a great job in his absence, and I find that as a real testament to the coaching and management staff of the SAFAs to basically effectively trust Jesse to continue on what he's doing and what he's building. So hats off there.
So just quickly, mate, for anyone who's keeping tabs on this, because I'm seeing a lot of jerseys at the CRU each Saturday, but New Zealand have got top spot with 10 points, followed by Australia on 9, South Africa are on 5, along with Argentina. So, mate, plenty to play for. No one's anywhere close to winning this thing, which is usually the case after 3 games. So stick with it. Keep those early mornings and long nights going. This is one hell of a championship.
Awesome to see. We'll dive into the PNC, so the Pacific Nations Cup. We had Samoa, Fiji. Fiji walked away winners on that one.
Yeah.
And the USA, Japan. This is what secured the deal for,
we were sweating on
Canada.
This one, Vinnie.
47-21, Japan take the win there. So, that's the good thing there. The PNC continues for another couple of weekends here. But Canada play Fiji next on Monday, the 15th of September.
Yeah.
So that's the next Canada game. So that's going to be exciting. And that's in...
I think that's in the US,
It's in the US, yeah. It's at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, which I have no idea where that is, but that's where it is.
Probably next to Dick's Sporting Goods outlet.
Yeah, probably, in the back parking lot. The US just do these crazy things where they probably do have a full stadium, connected
just move
to
the
a
cars
sports
out
store.
of the way and they lift the light poles out, but have a crack, fellas.
That's it, mate. It's like playing in Canada in the summer anyway, mate.
Yeah.
The Canada boys will be fine. Diving into the Women's World Cup, obviously we touched base on our illustrious women securing a quarter-final with a clean sweep of the pool stages. So they beat Scotland at the weekend, 40-19. USA beat Samoa 60-0. Wales, Fiji, 28-25. Like that's a hell of a humdinger. England, Australia 47-7. Japan 29, Spain 21. Italy 64, Brazil 3. New Zealand 40, Ireland 0. And France 57, South Africa 10.
There we
So
go. So
what that looks like is
yeah,
it
so
takes...
let's go through the pools, mate. So Pool A, the teams moving through from Pool A are England and Australia. So unfortunately, USA and Samoa, they have to start regrouping for 2029, mate. 2029 in Australia is the next Women's Rugby World Cup. So a big few years coming up for Australian rugby. And then Pool B, Canada and Scotland move through, with unfortunately Fiji and Wales. They'll be on the sidelines supporting. In Pool C, we have New Zealand and Ireland progressing to the quarterfinals, with Japan and Spain getting ready for their next Test matches. And then in Pool D, France and South Africa move forward, with Italy and Brazil unfortunately bowing out. So with all that said, the big quarterfinal for our Canadian women next weekend are against my hometown Wallaroos. So that's going to be an incredible match, and looking forward to that, mate.
Couple of big ones, man. The quarterfinals,
Yeah.
there's not really... I mean, you could probably say that the France-Ireland game would be the one that probably has the most chance of being a bit one-sided. Outside of... Well, sorry, there's going to be a couple of one-sided games, but what I mean is, like, it could go France or Ireland. That's probably your 50-50. That's the one that you don't... You wouldn't put your house on it, let's put it that way. Compared to New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, Australia, and England, Scotland. So, basically a Calcutta Cup for the women in the World Cup quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And, Scotland just played Canada. So back-to-back weeks playing 1 and 2 in the world. France just had a really good result against South African women. And, obviously England just played Australia. So Australia just played number 1 in the world. They're just about to play number 2. So, like, there is no easy path to a semi-final here.
No, of course not. And massive shout out to the South African women, because they've made history by reaching their first ever quarterfinals of a Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, and they've looked pretty sharp in some of their games, which it's kind of nice to see. But yeah, I think the France Ireland game's the only one that I would, I don't know if I would put too much money on betting either way. I think France might just have too much.
Yeah.
But Ireland they've been underdogs for sure. They've come out of camp firing. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But
yeah, well, good luck, mate. Good luck to all those teams. The Rugby World Cup, it's starting to get into the the exciting elimination games, mate. So this is when you start stepping up, and good luck to all of those teams. The next 3 weeks. Next 4 weeks, I believe. We've got 4 weeks left in the Women's World Cup, I believe. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. Looking forward to next weekend, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Here's an interesting stat for you, which I kind of just came across. But in the Women's World Cup, the tries scored from England, 32 tries, France, 26, New Zealand, 24, Canada, 23,
wow,
Australia, 17, South Africa, 16, Scotland, 14, and Ireland, 13. So, to put that into context, England have scored 32 tries in 3 games.
Yeah.
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 32 tries in 3 games is incredible.
Yeah.
So for this weekend, we touch base on the city finals that are coming up. So AC, we're looking forward to that. Internationally coming up, obviously we just talked about the Women's World Cup and their quarterfinals.
Yep.
The Rugby Championship, you've got Australia, Argentina.
That's right.
And New Zealand, South Africa on Saturday the 13th of September. And then in the PNC, the Pacific Nations Cup, you have Samoa, USA, and Tonga, Japan.
Yep.
And then on Monday, the 15th of September, which is effectively just the start of the following week. Fiji, Canada.
That's it.
Is the only game. So there's 3 PNC games coming up.
Yeah.
And then your World Cup games. So yeah,
Awesome.
super exciting times to go there. And also we have our juniors, which we negate to touch on, but it is the 7 season, fall sevens. And I think we're going into the 3rd week of fall sevens, if I'm not incorrect there,
It'll
Jason.
be the 2nd week, mate. Yeah,
Second
we had
week?
the first week. Well, we're recording today on Sunday, so yesterday, Saturday, was the first week of the fall festival. So great to see a lot of the little munchkins running around there and connecting with a lot of mums and dads that have taken a summer off. So yeah, mate.
Yeah.
We got the fall festival all throughout September, and then, hopefully we continue with this beautiful warm weather, because it's lovely to be almost in the middle of September, still in shorts and T-shirts, and the sunnies are on, and enjoying this beautiful late 20s weather, mate.
I'm just shrugging my shoulders because effectively it doesn't matter if it's -30, that's the same clothing wardrobe that I picked from anyway.
Yeah, well, when you've got insulation like you do, mate, you can wear whatever you want. But
some say insulation,
I'm a few years
others
away from that yet.
Some say insulation, others say just having a good time, mate. You just never know.
All right. Well, before we sign off here, mate, we better thank our podcast partners, buddy. As always, mate, Kids Sport Calgary. There we go. Anyone looking for support in sport or any sporting kit, get down there to Kids Sport. They'll be more than happy to help you out. You've just been shaking your titties there, mate. Joker jerseys, repping the Joker jerseys there. So Erwin, John, and the crew are doing a wonderful job, and then Joel and the gang at Intrinsi YYC for any of your chiro, physio, massage, getting yourself back on the field, or you just want a bit of love and support, go and see the kids there. And then, of course, our mate Ron LeBlanc. You've seen him at the grounds, all the various sports. Ron RJ Photography. So thanks very much, guys, for supporting the podcast. And, looking forward to another big weekend of rugby, locally and abroad, mate.
Yeah, hopefully kids going back to school, 2nd week back.
Yeah.
They come with a bit of energy on Saturday and they have a bit of fun. But that's what an exciting week of rugby we've had, and super excited to share, and look forward to the cities and provincial finals coming up for the men. And this the rest of this international rugby, which is kind of blowing up the scene right now, which is fantastic.
That's it, mate. And I'm just going to have a quick little shout out. You know how passionate I am about my mighty Rats, the Warringah Rats, back in Sydney Shute Shield. We won the Sydney Shute Shield grade final last weekend against the Eastern Suburbs Beasties. So massive win to my boys. So shout out to Joshy Holmes and all the crew there. It was a massive day at Leichhardt Oval. So Rats, Shute Shield grand final champions for 2025. Congratulations, fellas.
Awesome, mate. That's great news. Well done.
Yeah. All right, big man. Thanks again. Let's say goodbye to all of our viewers, all of our listeners, and we will check back in with you guys next week.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good listen.
And
Thanks for
become
listening.
part of our rugby family. Love the game, love the community.